world. Thanks for checking in the Khaliis Take. I'm glad you're able to come by. If it's your first time to the channel, please like, subscribe. Also hit the notification bell so you can get the newest content first. And you also want to check out my other videos as well. I think you might find the content to be intriguing. And also leave any comments on those videos as well. I greatly appreciate it. Now, today's take of the day, I want to talk about the Denver Nuggets. And is their season over after Jamal Murray's injury? Or can they still maintain as contenders in the West? Or should I say the Wild Wild West, with all the great teams that's ascending as we speak? Now, when I think about the Denver Nuggets, to me, Jokic is an MVP caliber type player. But Jamal Murray, to me, is almost the heart and soul of the team. Because when losing Jamal Murray means you're losing somebody who we saw last year in the playoffs play pretty good in the clutch. Have big minutes, made big shots, play good against Paul George and Kawhi Leonard and the Clippers. Play good. He played good, or he played really good when he needed to, against the first matchup when they played Utah. So when you look at Jamal Murray is big time. He's got big time capabilities. He's got superstar in him. He's not a superstar, but I would say he has superstar potential in him. And when you lose somebody with the likes of Jamal Murray and what he brings to the game and how good of a player he is, I definitely think that there's going to be a lot of harder games for the Denver Nuggets going forward, especially if they're in the playoffs, because there's a lot of times, even though Jokic is the best player, Jamal Murray takes over a lot of games. There's times where Jamal Murray looks like the best player on the Denver Nuggets. And he's definitely a huge part of what they do. And I think with him being on the floor, it makes Jokic even more effective. But the fact that you're not going to have him going forward and with a torn ACL, I really think that's going to be really detrimental to the Denver Nuggets. Because if you don't have somebody like him that can knife through a defense, that can create his own shot, take guys off the dribble, get to the paint, make miraculous layups that he does sometimes, and, put a defense on their heels, you're going to suffer a lot, especially when it comes to the playoffs. Because teams now, they can really just focus on Jokic. Because you're going to have to trust Michael Porter Jr.'s and those players to step up to the likes of a Jamal Murray or play to the level that he usually plays at. And I'm not sure if those players can do that. Aaron Gordon is a great addition. Michael Porter Jr. has been playing really good. And, they got a couple other pieces there, Will Barton. But they all really feed off of Jokic, but they also feed off of Jamal Murray's energy too. And without him being there, it makes them a one-dimensional, well, I'm not going to say one-dimensional, but it makes them more predictable, I should say. And I personally, if the Nuggets make it to the conference finals, I would be surprised. Losing Jamal Murray kind of means everything to their team. And like I said, I know Jokic gets most of the credit because he is the better player on the team. But, sometimes, hey, that's debatable. Because Jamal Murray, from what I saw last year in the bubble, he showed up in the bubble. He played really good. He showed out, and I don't want to get too carried away with that because, like I said, that was a bubble last year and a lot of players didn't even want to be there. And a lot of players didn't even agree to come. They just, a lot of them just sucked it up and just went there. And I don't really look at that as a huge, like a real playoff type atmosphere. I just don't. And that's just my opinion. And we can, discuss that on another video. But I didn't look at the bubble as just a playoff atmosphere. It was just so different. No fans, no anybody. It's just playing in a hot gym, what I'm saying, with a bunch, with 10 players and with, 2 basketball teams in there. That's pretty much all it was. It looked like basically they were practicing with TV cameras on. That's it, So I don't really look at that as a real playoff atmosphere, but, hey, it is what it is. And Jamal Murray did play really good last year in the playoffs. And he had a good season last year, too, before the season stopped last year. Had a real underrated season. And I can say the same for this year, but like I said, I just don't think the team is going far without him. And if they do, Jokic's going to have to be all-time great for them to go really far in the playoffs. And to me, his game is really good, but you know what I'm saying, with the shooters that he has, he can make a lot happen. But without Jamal Murray, they can't go too far. Or at least I don't see that they can go too far. But that's just my take on it. I really hate the fact that Jamal Murray got hurt. He looked like a really good up-and-coming player. And I hope injuries don't plague him, going forward. But he seems like a tough, strong guy. So, hopefully he bounces back, the same way, he was before he got hurt. And, hey, that's just my take on it. What do you think? Do you think the Denver Nuggets are going to make a run still or not? Or, hey, let me know what you think in the comment section. I just don't foresee this team going too far, especially without Jamal Murray. And I just think it's almost, I think it's pretty much almost over for this team. I do think Jokic can, get them out the first round, maybe into the second. I just don't see him carrying them too far after that. Not without the services of Jamal Murray, somebody with his talent. So, but yeah, that's my take on it. Let me know what you think, like I said. And, hey.